Good afternoon, and welcome back to my podcast, Reed's Being Refined by the Fire. I'm Reed, Renicia Bams-Coulier, and today we have another musical guest from my church. He's a maestro of music, Mr. Frank Thompson, Jr. Say hello, Frank.
Hello there, everyone.
So let me do the opening prayer.
Okay.
Heavenly Father, we come to you today asking for your guidance, wisdom, and support as we begin this podcast interview. Help us engage in meaningful discussion, allowing it to fall on fertile ground. Give us the right words to say to capture people's attention, and I pray that they share this interview with whoever they believe could also benefit from something they've been entertained by, both educated and entertained. These are our prayers for Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior. Amen.
Amen. I like that.
That's my thing. Amen.
Amen.
So, Frank, how are you really doing today?
I am so blessed. I am so excited. I have so many wonderful things to tell you. It would take me days to get it all out. So many wonderful things. At 60 years old, I'm at perfect. I have perfect health. My career is blossoming. I thought the things that I'm doing now, I would be probably doing when I was younger. And it's just, I guess, my thoughts and my, the direction that I was going at that time or whatever, what have you, things just didn't happen. But now, there's a song that's one of my favorite songs, by, what's the name? Eddie Long's choir, Total Praise is the name. Total Praise is the name of the choir, the group. And it's called Suddenly. And he did it suddenly. And, suddenly just things, within the past year, things have just took a whirlwind. This past year,
you've been on fire.
From January to now, I've been out of town every month, at least every other week or so. I've been out of town somewhere. I've been traveling. I started off this year. I had a little accident. And I ended up in a rental car, and I drove it for months, and then I was back in my own car for a couple of months, and then now I've purchased a newer car and stuff, and I've just been highway.
Must be nice.
Yes.
But
you're
doing it all for the honor of the glory of God.
All for the honor and glory of God, and I'm at peace. And I have so much peace, and if you want to get to know me, when I preached a message the other day, and the message was, are you there?
Yes.
Hello? Okay, no, a call is trying to come in. I'm just gonna let it go. I can't even see who's calling, but I forgot to turn it on Do Not Disturb as soon as that passes by. But anyway, I did a message the other day, and the message is about, what is the most important thing to a man. And, it was a Father's Day message. And I've asked that question to a bunch of women, and they all got it wrong. And the most important thing to us is our peace. Is our peace. And I thank God that I'm able to do what I'm doing, and I'm at peace with everything that's happening.
Yeah, it's nothing like peace.
Nothing like peace.
In all the chaos of the world, peace is a good thing to have. Peace is a good place to be.
Oh, yes. I don't know if you ever noticed that I have headphones sometime. A lot of times I have headphones. Usually leave them in the car when it comes to church.
I get to church,
but
you normally sitting in front of the church already with your headphones on.
That's about my peace. Because see, so many things could happen between the time limit that I walk from that car into the church. And if I'm there early, then I open myself up for people asking me crazy questions and making suggestions. But if I walk in that door, now I'm there half an hour early, believe it or not.
Yeah.
I'm sitting out at the other church. I play for Shiloh Missionary Baptist Church over in Gretna. I get there at 7 a.m. in the morning. Church starts for 7:30. I get to Boynton sometime a quarter after 10 or by 10:30. I am sitting across the street in the parking lot there and church starts. But I wait until the last 5 minutes or so. Go in, turn the instruments on, but I'm there.
Yeah.
It's about my peace. It's about protecting my peace. Some people don't understand it, but I,
you know
but
why? Because they don't have peace.
No, they don't have it like
People
that.
Don't have peace. They don't.
No.
They can't understand. Why you got to be so quiet? Why you not talking? What's wrong? Because they used to chaos in their life.
Yeah, I don't like.
I'm like,
I don't like confrontation. I don't like confrontation, and I do my very best to avoid it. And so, people will see me in Waffle House. I like to hang out at the local Waffle House sometimes, just have me some coffee, and sometimes I get something to eat. And they all know me, and I walk in the door instead of saying "Welcome to Waffle House," and say, "Hey, Mr. Frank." And so they some of the young ladies.
So you like Norm?
Yeah.
From Tears.
Yeah.
You walk
But here's the deal. Yeah. Oh yeah. I when I walk in there, they'll ask me. Well, they know me now. Right. I'm just like Norm. When I walk in, they says, "Why you always have them headphones?" And I said, "It's about my peace." So a young lady the other day at a different restaurant, I think it was a Denny's restaurant, she asked me, "What you listening to all those headphones?" And so I handed it to her. I just handed her my headphones, and it was smooth jazz. And it wasn't blasting loud, but it was enough to shield the noise around me.
Yes.
There's a lot of things that go on in this world that really has nothing to do with us, but everybody's talking about it. Here's the deal. There's a lot of things that the government talk about and that the news talk about. It's none of my business, and it doesn't benefit me at all. I just need to know what's going to benefit me. I just need to know. So, and I don't need to know who just got shot or how many people died last night. Unfortunately, I get that information at church, but I
be on it.
Oh Lord, and the other pastor.
I don't watch the news no more either. But he
I don't watch it. No. No.
I get my weather updates on the app on my phone, the weather channel.
That's it. And you got it.
Other than that, I know, but I used to be a person who used to watch the news because I grew up living with my grandmother pretty much, and she'd always have the news on. It's 5 o'clock, turn the news on. It's 3 o'clock, turn the news on. So, it's 10 o'clock, turn the news on. So it's like I grew up with somebody who was always in tune with the news. So I'm thinking, okay, well, that's something that I should do to know what's going on in the world. And as I've gotten older, it's like, no, I don't watch any TV. That may be good for some people. It's not for me. Especially since after my brain stroke, I really can't take bad news like that. It does something to me. It's really a downer. Yeah. So Frank, you're the musician at our church.
Yep.
And the choir leader. And all the members are the choir.
Yep.
As we sing from our seats in the pews.
Yeah.
So, but we're shepherded by Aaron DeGroote Sr., a.k.a. Pastor White, and his lovely wife, Teresa, and their daughter, Skylar. And we've all been friends for years. And we transferred our membership from Franklin Avenue Baptist Church in New Orleans during COVID.
Right.
Yeah. And that BUMC, Boynton United Methodist Church. You're the musician, a.k.a. Maestro.
Bless you.
I got that off of I got that off of something I saw online. Maestro. That's a word you don't hear often.
I've had a couple of different preachers, friends who I've played for, whatever, they called me Maestro. And so people lovingly just called me Maestro in the past. I hadn't heard it in a long time, but yes, I've had people who call me Maestro. I have some friends who call me Music. They know me as Music. And so, yeah, they call me Music. And so, if I get a strange number call and they say, "Hey, Music," I know you know me. Yeah. They call, I guess, and there's some folk out in the country. So, and I know them well, and, they lovingly call me Music, and I love it.
Wow. Yeah. What was the name of the other church you played at the earlier service that you go to? What's the name of the church?
I said it a minute ago. Shallow Baptist Church, Shallow Missionary Baptist Church.
Okay.
Pastor Larry Davis.
Okay.
Yes, Pastor Larry Davis is the pastor over there, and I enjoy it over there. They treat me good over there, and and yes, there's some good people over there. And and I've been over there now. I guess it's been almost a year. I've been over there. I think it's been I'm not sure. It's close to a year. Is it ever? Huh?
I thought you have been playing with them for as long as we've been members at Boynton.
No. It's just been about a year. Yeah, this is a new church. Well, I was playing for someone else. Then a church in Kenner I was playing for.
Okay.
And so I'm no longer there. Yeah, I'm no longer there. I'm at Yeah.
All right.
So I enjoyed it. Huh?
You was out there where Teresa and them live. And
right.
They said in Kenner where they in St. Rose, but still that's like next door. Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
So
right.
I've done some work for you. I created a flyer for the Praise Factor Award.
I remember.
Work my magic on your flyer.
I remember that. Yes. Yeah.
So I created it and forwarded it to you for you to distribute to your fans. But I don't remember, did you win or did you place?
No, I didn't. I didn't win. A close friend of mine, we call him the Cowboy. Ricky Paul won. He sings country music and country gospel music, and so he won. So I support him. And so no, I didn't win. But there are greater and bigger things that'll be coming my way. I'm going to be going to the Stellas, coming up, I think it's next month. And I'm going to be performing around there somewhere. It won't be at the Stellas, but somewhere at something that's going on in the area, that's connected to the Stellas. And we're looking forward to going back to the Grammys. I've been to the Grammys before, and look forward to going back to that, and where else?
So you just big time.
I guess you can call it that. And the Dove Awards as well. I'll be going there. So there's a lot of great things that's going to be happening and going on.
Award?
Yes,
the
Dove Awards.
Like a bird?
Yeah, Dove. Yeah, Dove Awards.
I've never
you ever heard of them? They're big. They're just as big as the Grammys.
Oh wow.
The Dove Awards?
No,
yeah.
No.
They're just as big as the Grammys.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, let's just go way back, and reflect on your upbringing. From what I read on your website, I'm sorry, I didn't write that down. What's your website address?
Oh, FrankThompsonMusic.com. Frank Thompson, Thompson, FrankThompsonMusic.com.
Okay. All right.
And the call that I missed a minute ago, that call I forgot. I'm upgrading the website, and the gentleman who's going to do that work, that's who was calling me. So as soon as we finish, I'll call him. But I texted him that I was on an interview and that I call him back. I texted him just now, and so he knows. So when we finish, then I'll
call him back.
Yeah, I'll call him back. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So you were raised by two loving parents. Are they still living?
Yes. No, both of my parents are deceased.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry to hear that.
Mm-hmm.
And did you have any?
Mm-hmm.
Did you have any siblings?
Oh, yes, it was 7 of us.
Oh, wow.
Seven of us. And
where do you fall in the birth order?
I'm sort of in the middle, almost middle. I'm the 5th child. I'm the 5th child, and but I'm the only one. Now, all of us could sing. My brother William could play drums and everything, but he never done anything with it. So he that just kind of fell by the wayside. My sister Teresa, she sings. She's on Facebook doing different things. Oh wow, we used to have a childhood group when I was 7 years old. We were the Thompson singers, the Thompson children.
Wow. And where would y'all sing?
Oh, at our local church. At our local church. And I have to tell you the story. I've told it a million times, I guess now, but my Aunt Frances, she heard me singing around the house. It heard me and my sisters heard us singing, because we used to imitate what is her name? Tina Turner and Ike and Tina, I was trying to say. We would imitate whoever was the popular groups, and then James Cleveland was the popular gospel, and Walter Hawkins at that time, and so we would imitate whoever singing songs and by these different artists, and we would play church, and I was always the preacher, and my sisters, they'd be in the choir, and then I'd get on the little keyboard that I had and play on it, and I would be the musician and the preacher, and
just
so
like
one
now.
day, just like now, and so my aunt heard us singing. She said, "Y'all ought to sing in church. Y'all sing beautiful. Y'all ought to sing in church." I'm like, "Oh no, I don't sing at the church. I don't sing in front of people." And so my sisters, they was all so shy. They was like, "No, we don't want to sing." So one day, or every Saturday, my mother would pick up my aunt, and they would go out and shop for grocery. Now, we down here in Louisiana, they call it making grocery. We're going to make grocery. And so they would, we say that we're going to make grocery down in the South. They said down in the South. And so they went to go to get grocery. So the rule was, you don't ask for nothing, you don't touch nothing, you don't know. So we're in the show, and I'm staring at these peanut butter cookies, and so my aunt said, "Oh, you like them?" I said, "Oh, those are my favorite cookies, the peanut butter cookies." And she said, "Oh, they're your favorite, huh?" She said, "I make a deal with you. If you sing Sunday, I'll buy those cookies." I said, "I'll sing."
Not for peanut butter cookies, Frank.
Peanut butter cookies, baby. Yes. So
what brand was it? This must have been some real good cookies.
Oh, They don't make them anymore. I can't find them anymore. They were shaped like a peanut. They were sort of shaped like the shape of a peanut, but they were peanut butter cookies. And,
wow.
They were so good. I would love to eat some of those cookies today, but they don't make them anymore. And she grabbed them off. She put them in the basket. So when we got in the car, I thought she was going to give her 10 minutes in. She said, oh no, you got to sing first. I said, okay. All right. So then we get to church. She brings the cookies, set them on the bench beside her.
Oh, wow.
And I was an usher. I started out as an usher, young usher.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm 7 years old, sitting back there, between 7 and 8 years old, sitting in the back, young usher, and I got, this box of peanut butter cookies sitting in between me and my aunt. And I'm like, I'm going to eat me some peanut butter cookies. And so they called the Thompson children. So my sister, I didn't talk them into, come on, y'all, we got to sing. You know, we got to get
Was everybody getting cookies? Or just you?
Yeah. Well, I shared them with them. I shared them.
Okay.
Yes, I shared them.
That was sweet.
But it was, I made the deal, but they were my cookies, but I did share.
That's good.
I did share. So we went on up, and baby, I belted that song out like if that was the first and last time I'm gonna sing. And my sisters, they're singing. So soon as we ended the song, I took off running down that aisle like if somebody was chasing
me. To get them cookies.
Yes. So wait a minute. Somebody, whoever was the MC, hollered, I come back and sing another, and y'all gotta sing another one. Y'all come on, y'all come back. I'm like, what? And Encore, yeah, they wanted another song. So then I went on back to the front, and so we sang, we sang another song for them, and after we finished that song, I took out again. And we got back there, and I grabbed that box, and I tried to tear that box open, and my aunt hit me on my hand. Out. She said, not in the church. You don't eat in the church. You know, back in the day when people had morals, now they'll feed their children. They'll bring McDonald's and put it in the church and let them eat it. They don't care now.
Yeah.
But, so baby, I was praying the preacher get over with that sermon quick. I'm like, come on, get, you know, back in the day, they get to the cross, you know, and that's the end of the sermon. I'm like, come on, get to the cross. And, so we got to the car. Look, they ain't had no problem with me running around playing with the other kids. You know, kids would want to run around play with your friends after church. I went to the car. And,
like, where's Frank?
Yeah, I went to the car. And so soon as, she handled him and my mom was giving my aunt a ride home. And, I started tearing that box open, and my mama hollered, make sure you share. And I said, I'm going to get some. So I gave my sister them some, and I tore into that box of peanut butter cookies, and that was my beginning.
And that's history. In the making. Yeah.
And then when I got, oh, bless you. And then when I got 11, 12 years old, I started out working early. I started out, matter of fact, no, I take it back. I had to be 13, because I remember it says, when I take and look back at my Social Security, number, and you could trace back the history of when I started paying tax, it was at 13 years old.
Oh, wow. Where did you work?
Because, there was a man by the name of Bob Weekend. I don't know if he's still living or not, but, he built, I think, our house. He was the guy that built most of the houses in the neighborhood in that community. And so the house next door, he was doing some work on that house. And so there's a gentleman by the name of Philip Gullich Jr. And he he was working there, and he played lead guitar for a group at the time called the Mighty Spirituals of Kenner. So we talking one day. I went over there trying to see if I could get some work. So the boss man said, you got to have a Social Security number because you got to pay taxes if you work. And so I was 13 years old. So I was painting and picking up trash and, you know, taking nails out of whatever I could do at 13 years old that they gave me to do. And, you know, moving stuff and helping them do, just being a helper. And, and so one day we came over, I told him that I could play guitar a little bit, me and Philip was talking. And so, we went over to my house, and my daddy had his guitar was sitting there, and he picked it up and he started strumming some chords, and then he gave it to me, and I started playing a little bit, just whatever I knew at that time as a 13-year-old. So, a week or two later, I think it was like maybe a week or two, or maybe that weekend or so. It was a short time after. He, came by the house one afternoon, and I think it was on a Saturday. It was a Friday or Saturday night. And, he asked my mother, said, look, we need our bass player for the group. Can't make it because he works at Avondale Shipyard, and they changed his shift to the night shift. And so he can't come play at this program we have. It was at Second St. John Baptist Church. So, in Avondale. And so, so my mama told him, said, well, he could go, y'all just, long as he says the church music now, church, right? Yeah, right over there at the Baptist church. And so she said, okay, long as it's church, and y'all just take care of him. And so, I got dressed, and I had suits because, back then you wore a suit if you was a boy, and if you was a girl, you wore a dress. Now they wear anything to church. But it's just change of the times. I don't have a problem with it. It's just, you know, changing of the times. So, right. So I put on the suit, and I went on around there, and this bass was bigger than me. And but they so they adjusted the strap so I could put it on my shoulder and stand there with them. And so when the people were coming in, he was over there just showing me changes and showing me, you know, this song goes like this. We're going to do this and we're going to do that. And so they'd say, oh, and I was right on and find that note, and then and I just played on one string, the top string, the E string, the whole concert. And I was, every note they played, I heard it, and I was excited, and I remembered when parts came around, but I was only playing that one string. Only playing that one string.
Wow.
So then, we went the next day. It was Sunday. They had about 3 or 4 places to go. And, they said, well, can he come? So all day the next, that Sunday, that was a Saturday and did a Sunday. So all day I'm playing with him, weighing that one string out. I'm hanging in there with him. I'm playing these guys in seasoned guitar players. I'm playing the bass, and I'm hanging in there on that one string on the bass. So we got in rehearsal. They told me to come to rehearsal. I think it was a Tuesday night. So that's when Philip noticed I was only playing on that one string. And he said, and I'm sliding to some notes, and I'm good. He said, no. He said, look, this is the one. And then if you drop down, and, you know, and it was telling me the fifth, and this is 2, this is 3, and giving me a number system to remember to play. And then he'll say up, down, you know, forward, the note is moving forward. And so I learned how to play on all the strings.
Wow.
Like that. Just like that.
You had on-the-job training, literally.
I had on-the-job training. And so then by the time I made it to 14, between 14 and 15, I moved on and I started playing for another group called the Stars of Heaven Gospel Singers. Okay. And then from there, Terry Gullidge and his family wanted to form a choir called Avondale Community Choir. And I started out singing, tenor, and I was one of the assistant directors when we first started out,
Wow.
and choir directors. And then later on, I started playing bass.
Wow.
And started playing the bass. I didn't own my own bass. I used bass, a bunch of bass guitars until I think I was about till I was about 18 years old.
Okay.
I would just, whoever I was playing for, they provided a bass, and I think I got a little. And the first one that I think I paid for, that was mine. I think I was between 17 and 18 years old, and gave a guy I think $50 for it, and something like that, and bought my first bass. And then now I have a room with a wall full of bass guitars and lead guitars and different instruments and stuff, and so it has been a what? Huh?
You got a brand new guitar for $50?
No, it was a used guitar. It was a used guitar, and it was a no-name bass. It was a no-name brand bass. It was yellow, a yellow bass guitar. It was yellow with a brown neck, with a light brown neck.
Yellow? For you to remember the color like that, it's like
no.
yellow.
No, I mean, all the other guitars I've owned, I had never seen a yellow.
That brown?
Brown, black. Black is a popular color. Even red, but mainly brown and black. Even a white, but not a banana yellow. Not a banana, banana yellow. Yes, you got it.
Really?
And it was banana yellow.
Oh my God. I was just saying
as a matter of fact, I'm trying to think. I saw a picture that someone had of me, and I think I got a copy of it, and I think I'm playing that bass. I think there is a picture of me. I was a kid, and and with that
banana yellow bass guitar.
Yes. And the neck was so thick on it, I could barely get my hands around it. And they don't make the necks that thick anymore. They've trimmed them down. But if I ever see one like that again, that I know is exactly like that guitar, I'll buy it right now, just for keepsake.
Yeah. Like, I remember I had this when I was, 18 years old?
Huh?
You was 18?
Between 17 and 18, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, if I found one now, that looked like that bass, I don't know what happened to it. I think just bought other basses and just it got lost on. I probably gave it away to somebody who needed a guitar, because that's me, that's more like what I would have, as I gained and bought. And then I think I was 20 years old. Whatever year the World Fair came to New Orleans, that's how I remember this. Because I went to Worldline music store that was downtown New Orleans on Canal Street, and I bought a black Fender Squier bass, spank brand new in the case. And I bought that bass, and the first time I played it, I brought it to the World Fair and performed with a group. It was Tom Washington and his group, the Voices of Redemption, I think is the name of his group at that time. And the first time I played that bass, and that's it. And I kept that bass a long time. And now, like I said, I have a room full of bass guitars in my recording studio. I have my own studio now, and I have a bunch and plan on adding more to the collection.
Wow.
Did
you ever take lessons? Professional lessons, like in school, or everything is just a guide given talent?
Mainly God-given talent. There was a man by the name of Mr. Lester Wright, that when I was at that 10, 11-year-old, whatever, between 9 and 11, I think, I took some, piano lessons from him, and I was doing so good. But I have a wonderful ear. God has blessed me with an ear. If I hear it, I could play it. And I was like that as a kid. Matter of fact, at 5 years old,
that's a talent in itself.
Yes. And you know what? Yes. There's a lot of people who envy that talent, because they only read and then they see me play. I want to read. And you know what I've been doing now at 60 years old? I got a book that with all the scales in it. And I've been in there working on learning how to sight read and just reading the scales for now. Yeah. So I'm starting a process now, and I'm doing good. I could do it now without looking at my fingers. I can just look at it, and that's what people are trained to do. You look at the book, and then your fingers just know what to do. You don't look at your hands.
So you learning in reverse.
Yeah, I'm learning reverse. But all of the music, I have 63. Wow. I had 62 songs on the market as of today. I have 63 songs on the market. As of today. And all of this just God-given. I can't explain all that I do with chord progressions and stuff like that is just from the heart. I hear it and I do it. Yeah. I've written, probably over 400 or 500 songs. But there's only 63 so far that's been released to the world. But I've written, oh Lord, sometimes
do you write for other people?
Closer. No.
Only for yourself.
In the future, I may, it's a hard thing writing. If somebody else is a professional and they understand how the business goes, yes, I'll write for those people. But just for someone local who don't really understand how things go, no, I won't do a recording not a serious recording with someone who's local who don't know how the business goes. You can get yourself in a whirlwind of trouble by people not knowing how things go, and they'll let people who don't know anything about the business tell them their opinion, and then it goes to heck from there. And I hate opinions. Oh my God.
Come on, Frank. Everybody got an opinion, just like buttholes. Everybody has an opinion.
Here's the deal. If something happened to my child, I don't want an opinion about what happened to my child. I want to know the truth.
Exactly what happened.
The Bible says, know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. If something happens, anything happens to my life or anything that's my business or whatever, I tell you what, I want to know the truth, not an opinion. I asked this group of women once who got mad at me saying that I hate opinions. They was like, what you mean you hate that? Everybody got a right to have an opinion, or they went to shaking them next. So then I asked the question.
Everybody has an opinion. It don't make it right.
Wait a minute. Well, wait a minute. Wait.
Okay.
I said to them, let me give you a scenario. You trapped in a room. 10 people in this room. And there's a bomb in the room. The room's locked. Nobody can get out. Out of the 10 people, you got 9 who are strong opinionists. But you got one person who has 50 years experience with defusing the bomb. Who do you want to take a crack at the bomb? You know, I asked people
50 years experience.
Do you know that most women I give that scenario to when we get in this kind of conversation about I hate opinionists? You know, most women, they'll stare at me and they won't say a word.
Huh?
They'll just stare at me. They won't. Very few will say, because I've had this conversation with quite a few. Very few will say, well, the man with the experience. Nope. They stare at me and they don't say a word.
What's up with that?
That's how strong they feel about their opinions. If I go to the hospital because I'm not feeling well, I don't want an opinion about my health. I want the truth.
Don't give me what you think it is. I want to be
Don't give me what you think it is. So
we'll figure it out from the deck.
Here's the deal. So, right, exactly. So here's the deal. Yes, everybody has an opinion. And guess what? I may have an opinion about some things, but I don't speak it. You got to be close to me.
Yeah.
You got to be really close to me for me to give you an opinion about something that's going on.
Mm-hmm. You
got to be mighty close, and you're going to understand that I don't believe that this is true. The problem with my problem with opinion is that they believe that their opinion is the truth. And so then they pass it on with this adamant tone, like my opinion is the truth of what's happening. Wait a minute, baby, you wasn't there. You didn't see it with you didn't see it with your own eyes. Why are you so strong? There have been more relationships to break up because somebody in the family had an opinion about the person that their family member was with.
Wow.
I don't like the boys with the guys. I don't like the guys that's got their pants hanging off their butt. I don't think that's a good character. Okay.
Do you know where that comes from?
The prison. I know where it comes from.
Yes.
And
if they know,
they don't know. They don't know.
Up. That's just it. I'm thinking about making a T-shirt with that on there. If you knew where that style came from, you pull your pants up, put on a belt. I don't care if it's a tie rope around your waist.
Most people, and this is a true statement, this is not my opinion, most people are followers. And they follow whatever trend happens. That's the truth. That's not, that they say, right, if you make them think it's cool, smoking cigarettes, there's no reason why a person has to start smoking cigarettes. They only do it because they are followers. And it looks cool, and my friends do it. Most people who drink, there's no reason to start drinking. They only do it because they have a follower mentality and tattoos. I don't have a problem with anybody who has a tattoo, but I saw a girl that I know the other day, and she got a big sleeve up her arm, young girl, attractive girl. I'm like, she saw other people with it, and she felt she had to do it. And people want to identify with whoever's in their circle, or they want to identify with the world, so they get all these tattoos and these piercings everywhere because they want to identify with something, huh?
Yeah, they want to fit in.
Right, they want to fit in.
They want to be like they want to be like the majority.
Like the majority, exactly. So that's not an opinion.
They don't realize that the road, the what do you call it? The less traveled road, is the way to go, not the mass. The big road.
So my daddy, heard me in a conversation talking about tattoos, and I was young. He said, "Boy, if you're gonna get a tattoo, you make sure you on the other side of that door, that you live on the other side of that door when you do. As long as you in this house."
How did your family feel? Since he said that, how did what was his personal opinion about tattoos?
I'm about to tell you. He didn't have any tattoos.
Okay.
And he said that the reason why he had reason why he had a problem with tattoos, being a young black man and with racism so strong and so many bad racist cops at that time, that he said, let's say the popular the popular tattoo at that time was a knife and a bleeding heart with the bleeding, fake bleeding knife with knife in a heart.
Blood dripping off of it.
Right, that's what I'm trying to say. So he said, let's say you go get that on your arm. They're looking for a young black man with that same tattoo. They could hold you. They could arrest you. And because if they call that an identifying mark, they could hold you. And until you could prove that you're not that individual, but now, because they were able to hold you, you got a record. You got a mark on your name because you were arrested. When he broke that down to me, that's all he had to say. That was it. And then on top of that,
no tattoos.
not a one.
Oh my God.
Not a one. Not a one. What else? I don't have any piercings. There, I learned about, Greek mythology and the history behind the earrings and so forth. And not only that, I learned, different things about culture and what have you about earrings. And so I decided, my daddy always told me, son, be an individual. Be unique. Don't follow the crowd. Whatever else you see everybody. He said, he asked me a question. Now, boy, let me ask you a question now. He said, if all your friends was jumping off the bridge, would you jump off the bridge? I said, no, I wouldn't jump off the bridge. He said, okay, well then you don't have to do anything else that you see them do because you see them do it. Be an individual.
Well, it depends on why they're jumping off the bridge.
Well,
why are they jumping off the bridge?
Well,
if
here's the deal.
Reason.
If they're jumping off the bridge because they think they're going to save their life, well, then I might be with them.
Yeah.
But now, as long as I can fight.
Yeah.
Long as if the bridge is falling down and I think by diving off and diving out away from the bridge, I might save my life. Then I might do that. But I've seen some people jump off the bridge because they were swimming.
Their friends were.
And yeah, because they're swimming and they, it wasn't high as like the Greater New Orleans Bridge, but they, I've seen them jump off lower bridges and they swim to the side and they get back on out and do it again. But, no. Huh?
Well, let's go back to your parents. Did they ever share with y'all how and where they met with you and your siblings? Did they ever tell y'all that?
In New Orleans. Oh, yes. Beautiful story. Beautiful story.
Mm-hmm.
My dad was a mechanic.
Okay.
My mother worked at a local restaurant. And, my dad and a friend of his who he did mechanic work with, they walked in the restaurant with greasy hands and they stepped to the countertop. So my mama said, y'all can't sit to my countertop with them greasy hands. She gave her some soap. She gave them some soap. And she said, go around to the side of the building with this soap. There's a hose pipe on the side of the building and y'all wash y'all hands. And then you come back in. Now give me your order and I have your food ready by the time you come back in. So when they turn around with the soap, my daddy looked at his friend and he said, see that woman there? She's going to be my wife.
Wow. I love I had my second husband said that. his sister when he got back home after me and him. We went to see, I want to say Purple Rain when it was out in the movies. And, when he got back home, cause he had told his sister, who was my best friend at the time, he said, ask your friend if she want to go to the movies with her. And she had called and asked me, and I was like, no, I don't want to go. And, he asked her to call me back, and she said, well, don't really want you to come with us. Cause I knew it was her and her boyfriend going, and I was tired of being the third wheel. So I was like, no, I'll stay home. So when she called back and said he really wanted me to go, I was like, okay, I'll go. And when they got back, cause after the movie, me and him rode around just talking. And when he got back home, he dropped me off. And then when he went back home, she said he told her, I'm going to marry her one day. And he did. Yep. That was my second husband. My second longest marriage. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I see. Yeah, but that was their story. That was their story. And, I remember, so, I'm happy you asked me that question because that was the beginning. That's how they connected, and they were together till death did them part.
Wow. How many years were they married?
Oh Lord, child. I have to go by my age. I have to go by I guess I have to go by my age to figure that out. Now, when he passed, I want to say I was 23, I think, when my father passed.
Okay.
So then that would be 23 years before he passed.
Okay. And you 60?
I'm 60.
Or you'll be 60?
No, 60.
Yeah, 60. You 60 now, right?
Yeah, I'm 60.
Minus 23, so that's 7.
I don't know. You have to do the calculation.
Yeah, I was trying to do it. Okay, so you were 23 then, and
Right.
60 now. Okay, I can't do that. I can't do the math now. My brain is like, Okay, and did they ever tell y'all what wisdom did they impart in each of
my dad was, let me say this. My father had to drop out of school at 3 years old.
What?
Because
he never went to school.
Because no. I said 3 years old. I'm sorry. In the 3rd grade, not 3 years old.
Okay. That's a big deal.
He went, no. He went to school up to the 3rd grade, and one day he was on his way out. He had his books in his hand, and he was headed out to go out to walk down the road with the kids to go to go out to go to school. And his daddy called him back and said, "Boy, put them books down. Go out there and bring the hogs out to pasture. Bring the cows out to the pasture and go feed the hogs." And that was his last day of school. But he was the smartest man I knew.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for my father's wisdom, I don't know where I'd be. My daddy was one of the most fair, the fairest people that I knew. He had a way about him, the way he handled people, the way he handled business. And, he was well respected. And, like I say, he was, I heard a young man say one time he don't take advice from people that he would want to trade lives with. My father was one of them kind of people that I wouldn't mind trading lives with him, although I wouldn't want to be out there in that hot sun, cutting grass. He was a gardener. He owned his own business. And, in the, 70s, not the 70s, the 60s, he,
so he was smart. You don't own your own business if you're a dummy or lazy.
Oh yeah. He went from being a mechanic to getting a lawnmower, a broom, and an edger. And he, learned and he cut grass, and he fixed his own lawnmowers.
Wow. My great grandfather was a landscaper. He did the upper class people that lived in
my daddy too.
Yeah.
My daddy too.
Certain people
and
neighborhood they even cut their bushes. He was the first he used to trim their bushes into shapes like animals.
Yeah.
So he was sculpted. He sculpted their bushes.
Right. Yep. My daddy, was the, I think about him every day, and every day I talk about him some kind of way. Someone asks me a question, or I think about him through something I'm doing. I never forget, some years ago, I was in my 20s, and I was working on my car. I think I had a station wagon. I had a front end problem with the car, and it was by the spindle, and I couldn't figure it out. And I went to bed upset about it, and just trying to figure it out. And my daddy came to me in a dream. He said, "Boy," he said, "why you keep fighting that thing?" He said, all you got to do is blah, 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 and whatnot. That's all you got to do. You know better than that. Why you fighting? I woke up, put my clothes on early in the morning, like we talking about at daybreak. I got up out of the bed, put my clothes on. I didn't eat breakfast, nothing. I put my clothes on, ran out there outside, and did exactly what he told me to do in that dream. Do you know it fixed the car?
Oh, wow.
It fixed it. It did what I needed it to do.
Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah, my dad was
your dad was your hero. So you and your mom, what kind of relationship do y'all have?
Me and my mom had a rough relationship. Mom was sort of a rough, McGruff kind of person. And, I thank God for her now more that I'm older, I'm more mature and so forth. I didn't understand, but, but where I am now in life, she, say for instance, she would make me come in the kitchen and help her cook. And I would be, why are you making me do this girl stuff? I had two sisters, but they were younger than me. They were not as strong as me. So when it came down to picking up pots and scrubbing pots and cleaning pots and cutting up seasoning, grating potatoes for bread, to make the potato bread and stuff like that, peeling potatoes and then onions, they were younger than me. And so I see it now. I couldn't see it then. And so one day, why you got me doing this girl stuff? I ain't no girl. And she said, shut up. You might be a bachelor one day. Well, nailed that. she got that one right. So my rough bout with her.
That's why you make them delicious cakes.
There we go. You got it now. And so now pretty much daily, I thank God for my mother now, wherein for so long I was upset and angry that, you know, why you treated me like, you know, I was a little girl or something that got me, you know, doing all of this, you know, stuff like that. And I didn't appreciate it. I couldn't see it. I couldn't see it then, you know, and,
but it goes in handy now.
Oh Lord, I'm one a better cook than a whole bunch of people I know. And because thanks to my mother, and thanks to my mother, and and the thing about it is that I have to give credit also because I'm able to cook healthy meals, and so my body is healthier because I don't have to rely on somebody else cooking with too much salt or cooking or going to McDonald's or restaurants all the time. You know, I go to Waffle House, but there's certain things I eat at Waffle House. You know, I don't eat everything on the menu. I don't eat all the greasy stuff and what have you. I take very good care of my health. And sometimes I'll park the car way out in the parking lot just to walk a little bit more to get the exercise. And you know, and so
people don't think about it. Like it's little stuff that you can do to make yourself healthy. Little bitty steps. It don't have to be like you don't have to go join a gym and go and work out for 2 or 3 hours a day. You can just take them and go into the mall. Don't park right in the spots in the parking spot closest to the mall.
In the handicap spot.
In the back. Yeah. And don't have a placard.
Right. That part. I heard them cheer and say that part. That's a new thing now. I think it's over now, but yeah. But I am blessed. I am so blessed that I had wonderful, loving parents, I hear kids now, they have the audacity to say to a parent, you ain't never done nothing for me. And when I hear that, and when I think about when I was a kid and how much my dad made cutting grass, and I know and understand and realize now, what that entails. And when I look at that, I was the only kid in the neighborhood that had a brand new go-kart from Sears and Roebuck. You remember them? And that was from parents who didn't have much, but they sacrificed their money so that I would have something, so grand as, it don't seem like much it wouldn't seem like much to some people, but when you think about what that cost at that time, the 200 something bucks for a go-kart for one kid. Yeah. It gives me a whole new level of love and respect for my parents. And when I look at how what they've done and how they did in my life, I'm like, there's no way in the world any kid I look at with the shoes and the clothes and the whatever that costs money. Yeah. That costs money. And when I hear kids say, "Oh, my parents ain't never done nothing for me," I'm like, that's immaturity speaking. Yeah. Because anybody who's an adult, and if you look at how much lights cost, and look at how much how much food costs, and and then you got insurance, and you got all these things that you have to pay for. But a child mind only sees that toy that they wanted, that they didn't get, that they probably didn't deserve, because if you ask them to go wash the dishes or take the garbage out, they got their mouth poked out, so they know they don't deserve to get niceties. You know, they just want what they want because the world, somebody spoils them and gives them what they want. This is not an opinion. This is the truth. You know, this is the truth.
Unfortunately, that's the world we live in today.
Right. Unfortunately, it is. It is.
Yeah.
And the Bible talks about if you spare the rod, you spoil the child. When you spoil the child, you make it harder for the rest of the world, because
to deal with that child.
To deal with that child, because that child's gonna grow up and you're gonna give them a car, you're gonna give them the right to drive, they're gonna get on the road with that same mentality that they got at home with the rest of the world, but the rest of the world ain't gonna put up with it.
Nope.
You know,
they gonna put reality real hard.
Right. Police officers not gonna put up with that. He's gonna deal with that, and it's just wow. It's just amazing. It's just amazing. But I had wonderful parents who loved me and they gave me their best. And if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be the man that I am today.
Yeah. They did a great job.
I went, thank you. I went to the music store and I was looking at the price of drums. And I remember, asking my mama once, how much they paid for, I went to school and I had a brand new snare drum that I played in school. They had to buy that snare, for me. And they said $100. My mama said, for that one snare drum, $100. And with a lawnmower in the edge, my daddy made a sacrifice.
Wow.
Out of all the things that he had to do and had to pay for.
Out of 7 kids.
And out of 7 kids, where at that time it was just 3 of us at home. It was just 3 babies at home. The others had moved on. Okay. And it was just the 3 of us left at the house. But out of all, and so and I don't think I ever told this about the snare drum before, but I am so grateful when I look back at what it takes for me to survive and make it and have nice things, so forth. When I look at that, what it takes for me to survive, and I look at the fact that they made a sacrifice.
Yeah.
Of spending that kind of money on one kid when all the kids you got. And I'm just so grateful. I'm just, and so every day, I thank God for my parents and the sacrifices that they made. And, I am so grateful for them and the sacrifices that they made in my life, because if it wouldn't have been for them, I wouldn't be the man.
The man that you are today.
That I am today, or the musician, or the minister, or whoever. I wouldn't, just, oh wow, just, it's just, I get, now that I get older and, have that level of gratitude that I do.
Yeah.
It's just overwhelming to me sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Makes you think back and be grateful for everything you got, because you were favored.
Yeah. Yeah. And guess what? At the time, I didn't feel that way. I felt my sisters, and they may hear this podcast. I felt my sisters was getting the cream of the crop. And I was not the favorite, and I felt, as a kid.
Yeah, because you were a little boy being made to wash dishes, and you didn't understand what was going on. You didn't see the big picture.
No, couldn't see that at all.
Looking back, now in hindsight, you've been favored.
Yeah.
Your whole life.
Yes. See, you saying something. You're saying something. Yeah, because right. When I look at like I say, as a kid, you think that oh, they like my sisters better. They get away with things because I was just telling somebody something that I didn't like about my mom that coming up. And I got in talking now right this minute. I got a different outlook on it. My brother William would mess with my personal things, something I got a toy or something.
Yeah.
And I'd go and complain to my mama, and she would say, "You're a Christian. You're supposed to forgive, and you're supposed to know better." No. I got it backwards. If my brothers did something to me and I complained about it, she would she'd tell me that I should forgive them and whatever. I'm a Christian, but if it was vice versa, if I did something to them, I got fussed at, and I thought that was so unfair.
Yeah.
I thought that was so unfair.
Favor isn't fair.
Favor
isn't fair.
Right. And so, but now when I look at where I am and where they are in life.
Yeah. Who's favorite?
Yeah. And I thought it was unfair to tell me that I'm supposed to forgive as a Christian, but let them go, and I thought it was, but I was being groomed.
Yes.
For now.
Yes. For such a time as this.
Yes.
You see the picture now?
Oh my God, I see it now. I couldn't see it when I was a kid. but oh yes, I definitely see it now. And
what got you we're gonna leave that right there. Put a pin in it. Let's move on. What got you in trouble the most as a child? Were you talkative or quiet? A liar?
My mouth. My mouth. I can tell you that.
Hold on. Selfish or kind-hearted? Stubborn or easygoing? A bully or a nice kid? A lover or a hater? Bossy or passive?
I was not bossy. I was a mild-mannered, easygoing, help anybody, give the shirt off my back kid, lovable, but I always stood up for myself. And so that's when I said my mouth, and I hope somebody gets something from this. When I was a kid, adults have a way of provoking children.
Yeah, they do.
Adults have a way of picking at kids. And I would always defend myself. You just couldn't say anything crazy to me, and I would get a whipping because I spoke back, but they wouldn't say that I was picking with him.
Yeah.
And they would just say what I did. Say, for instance, if I hit a kid, my dad dealt with it different. Now, my mama, upside my head, she'd go out and told you about fighting, blah, 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 blah. My daddy handled it totally different. My daddy was like, what did they do, Frank? Because my daddy knew I wouldn't pick a fight. I'm not going to start a fight. Even today, I'm not going to start a fight. But if somebody bring a fight to me, I'll be the last person standing. I'll be the last person standing. When I'm going to finish it. I'm going to be the last person standing. And so my dad would always, if you got to him first, he wants to know what happened because 9 times out of 10, somebody provoked me. Somebody hit me first. Somebody did something. It provoked me. I didn't start that fight. And 100% of the time, that would be the case. But if they got to my mama first, I'm getting a whipping, I'm getting punished and whatnot. And a lot of times, me and my sister was talking about that recently, and she said, "Oh, you was a smart one." I said, "I defended myself." I said, somebody would say something to me. She said, "You sure did." She said, "You sure did." I said, "I could be quiet. I'm like that today." And and so that's why I'm big on my peace. That's why you hear me talk about my peace.
Yeah.
I could be sitting alone quiet in the room. My mama would get your so-and-so out of that room. You go outside and play with those kids. What you being non-sociable? I would go outside, and then the kids had already gotten into something, the other kids, and then here come the parents down the street 10, 15 minutes later and say, "Those kids were out there and they broke the window by such and such and such whatever, and they did such and such." So then I get punished. But I wasn't even out there. I was in my room. You made me go out there. And so that's why now as an adult, yes, it was like that. And so that's why as an adult, I protect my peace so much because I have, even as an adult with relationships, I could be sitting quiet.
Yeah.
And the average woman, if you too quiet, start asking you a bunch of questions or whatever, or pick a fight about something that happened yesterday that you don't even remember. And I could be quiet and just all of a sudden things will escalate, in a heartbeat from 0 to 100. I'm like, I know why did this happen?
Yeah.
So I protect my peace so much because I don't like confrontation. And if I've done something that somebody might think was offensive or whatever, I'm quick to apologize. I'm quick because I don't want to be on anybody's bad side. I don't purposely set out to harm someone, or I don't purposely set out to offend anybody. I'm a happy-go-lucky guy. I'm giving, I'm loving, and sometimes having the giving heart that I do and whatnot, sometimes it could come off wrong. So I have to be careful. So I've started to get to the point where I'm just a loner. I just, you see me, you see me.
Yeah.
And I tell people all the time, when you see me, you see me. Because I've been misunderstood in my lifetime. But as a kid, I was a good kid. I was a good kid. I was always willing to help somebody, always trying to achieve something. Always, my daddy gave me my own lawnmower at about 12 or 13 years old, and I would go cutting grass in the neighborhood and stuff. And I remember I used to charge people $7 or $10. If it was a smaller yard, $7. If it was a bigger yard, then I'd charge them $10. That was my two prices, $7 or $10. I knew the people took advantage of it because some of the yards was big enough that they should have gave me 20. And I'd go around. Oh yeah, sure. And
give him the money before he goes.
So I had a lawnmower and a broom because I'd sweep the grass up after I cut the grass. And and my brothers, oh Lord, I was young and I kept $50, $60, $70 in my pocket as a kid that young, and it was my daddy let me keep my money, my mama, daddy, they let me keep my little earnings, and I'd go take people trash out and do different things and help clean up somebody's yard or whatever, and they'd give me a little $10, $20 or whatever. And so my brothers, they'd always, they called me June back then. June as for junior. And, short for junior. June, give me 20. I'm gonna give it back to you. I'm gonna give it back to you. Just give me 20, man. We'll give it back to you, all that kind of tone, And so I just, man, never to this day, I'm 60 years old, ain't never give me my money back. Never give me my money back. And it come around, I get money, and I said, you ain't paid me back last time. I'm going to give it to you. It's going to be more when I give it to you. I'm going to give it back to you. It's going to be more. You know, it's going to be a big lump sum when I give it back to you. I ain't never give you my money. But I was young. I was young. I was 12, 13-year-old and making money. And it wasn't nothing for me to have, $40, $50 in my pocket because I would edit. And I did no more than just go to the sweet shop, they call it, and buy, a little candy, treat my partner, my best friend, and get a Hucklebuck, they call it, a frozen cup. Some people call it, some potato chips and a pickle or pig lip, the stuff kids, and then so my mama, I want to say I was 16 or 17. And my mama brought me to, and the name almost came to me just now, that bank. And she brought me to the bank. And I put $50 in the bank in my name. And excuse me, that was the first checking account that I had at that age.
What?
That was my first.
13 or 14?
No,
12 or 13?
I think I was 15 or 16.
Okay.
Because I was always earning money and walking around with it in my pocket.
Okay.
And so she took me, and that was my first time I ever opened a checking account. And I believe I was between 15 and 16 years old. Wow. And that was the beginning of teaching me about money and saving money and budgeting and stuff like that. So everything that I know, I got it young, wherein I know people in their 20s don't have the information that I had at 15.
Yeah. And that's sad.
Yeah. I actually know 20, 24, 25-year-olds that don't know or have the information that I obtained by the time I was 15 years old, because nobody's teaching them. The idea, and I hope that somebody gets this, what I'm about to say, being grown has nothing to do with having your way. Being grown has to do with about being responsible. And most young people I know with this attitude that I'm grown, it's about them wanting to just have their way. If you still living with your mama and you 30, I don't consider you as grown. If you in your 20s, 30s, almost 40, and you living with your mama, might not have a job, probably got 2, 3 kids, and you living on your mama, and I don't consider you as grown because you're not being responsible. Being grown is about being responsible. It has nothing to do with you being able to go where you want to. I could drink, I could smoke now, I can gamble now. No, those are privileges. Those are things that you might want to try to experience or something at some point in your life, but that doesn't make you grown. What makes you grown is you being able to be responsible for yourself. That you don't have, if you, and I got a pet peeve about my money. If my kids want money from me, but you don't care about what I have to say about life, then you don't need to get my money. Because if you grown, you in your 30s and 40s now, my kids are getting up to, between 30s and 40s, and so all my kids in the middle 30s, are over, between 30 and 40. 35 and 40 rather, between 35 and 40. And so I'm like, if you don't care about my wisdom, don't ask me for my money. Because see, I could tell you how to make money. I could tell you how to save money. I could tell you how to budget, and I could tell you how to have good credit. I could tell you everything you need to know to be successful. But if I give you my money, you may not do what you said you was going to do. You might say it's for your bills. You might go out party with it and buy stuff that you don't really need. I'm not benefiting you if I just give you money. But now if you sit down and let me talk to you a little bit, I could benefit you if you listen to what I got to say.
Yeah.
My daddy had go ahead.
That's like they say if you give a man a fish, he'll eat today. But if you teach him to fish, he can eat the rest of his life.
See, now on that note, I'm not into politics. I don't. I might vote, like I might not. I used to be into all of that. I don't care for it now because what I learned is that if you sit around waiting on the Republicans and Democrats to make decisions to guide your life, you'll never have a thing.
Yep.
Because they don't actually care about you. They actually care about themselves.
That's their big check.
That's their big check. Now, here's the deal. I've never had a president, a governor, or a mayor, or any Republican, or any politician, I'm trying to say, not Republican, any politician to make my life better or worse. My life has only been better or worse because of my own decisions.
Yeah. And that's
not an opinion. That's the truth.
Yeah.
Nothing any president has ever done has made my life better. Nothing any politician, any Democrat, any Republican has done has made Frank's life better. My life has only got better or worse because of my own decision. And if you believe that what the politicians are doing, or you believe that whoever's in office as president, that's going to make your life better or worse, you are sad, sorry, and I feel sorry for you.
Yeah.
The decisions that I have made in life has made my life better or worse. And in most times, better. I've made mistakes like anybody else. But I've learned from those mistakes.
That's the key.
And, I've learned from my mistakes. And the biggest mistakes I've made was trusting other people who convinced me that they cared about my well-being when they only cared about their own pocket.
Whew. You said a mouthful out.
That is the biggest mistake I've made in my lifetime, is trusting people who convinced me that they had my back. So when I hear the words, I got you, that's a red flag for me.
Yeah.
Because the people who let me down the most were people who said those words, I got you. So when I hear a person say, I got you, that's a red flag for me.
Yeah.
That right there. That, I like how the children say that part. That does it for you. That does it for me.
They might as well be waving, literally, a red flag.
That's a red flag for me when I hear people say that I got you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's a red flag for me. You know, the biggest, and so here's the deal. The truth of the matter is that you never know another person's intention. You never know. So you just have to pray for wisdom and guidance and be very careful who you put your trust in.
Yeah.
You have to trust somebody at some point in life for something. You go to a hospital, you have to trust the nurses and you got to trust the doctors.
Yeah.
You got to trust somebody. You go to the bank and you put your money in any name brand bank, any bank, whatever. You got to trust those people who are handling your money and who take care of that. Anything you do, you go to get your car fixed, you got to trust somebody.
Yeah.
You know, something break at your house, the plumbing break, you got to trust somebody. And guess what?
Yeah.
All of those people are not right. All those people, and there's no way in the world you could, be careful. That's something else I hate. I hate when somebody tell me, be careful. Because when when I've asked the question,
Mm-hmm.
How do you be careful? No one has given me a definite, scientific, 100% explanation.
Well, it depends on what you're doing. Like being careful, like what? Sawing down a tree? Of course, you be careful with whatever saw you're using. With driving a car? Yeah, you pay attention to the road, and follow the law.
Now, you have done better just with that than anybody else. Everybody else gets kind of stumped in their thoughts. And they say, well, be careful. We say things that we hear other people say because they say them. I've said it too. I've said it in my past. I've said it, yeah. Be careful.
Had somebody say they had a problem with people saying be careful. I mean, it's like they care about you. It's like whatever you told them you're gonna do. I'm thinking that they are saying be careful in whatever you're going to do.
It's like I understand at 60 years old, there's a lot of things I cannot control.
Yes.
Okay. So my mindset now is different than when I was younger. To tell me to be careful, there's some things I could walk out of this door, and if there's something meant for me, see, and I do believe in that God knows the day, the hour, the time when we were born, and when we're gonna die. So I have no power. I could practice being a careful driver, sure, but if there's somebody who blindsides me, there was nothing I could do about it.
Yeah.
And
that's
I could. Right. It's happened. So
as a matter of fact, that just happened to me last month on the 24th of, 2 months ago now, on April 24th. I've been dabbling with this guy. He was a Lyft driver, but he was parked in the bike lane on the side of the Singer Theater. And on the side of the Singer Theater is the parallel parking lane, then it's the bike lane, and then it's the regular traffic lane.
Right.
He was parked in the bike lane and obviously didn't tell his backseat passenger that was sitting behind him not to open the door on that side, but to get out on the opposite side.
And then open the door.
Yes, sir. Busted my truck headlight, and scratched all the side of my door, all the side to my passenger door.
Hold on.
Did I see that coming? No. And I was driving with the door. I was not anticipating somebody to open. I was bored.
Right.
Like they call when you open a door on somebody that's riding a bike, they call it being doored. My truck was doored.
Right.
And we still fighting because he's saying he told his company, he's with Allstate. He told his company, and Allstate is a big dog. They take up for their clients. They don't care what you say. Whatever their clients say is might as well be written in stone. So I'm with Progressive Insurance. So now we're going to litigation. So we can't agree on whatever, because I refuse to go down.
Well, I think when you get before a judge, and if that person opened the door on the street, I think you're going to be clearly vindicated. I believe that with all my heart. So yeah, I think that should have been open and shut. But let me tell you something. A lot of big companies, they like to scare people with their words and tactics and stuff like that. And if you give in, then they won. So you just hang in there, and it's going to be all right. So I know what people mean when they say, that, be careful. I know what they mean. I know where their heart is, but like I say, as I get older, certain things just don't make sense to me anymore. that, you know, it's like I have no power. How do I be careful? How do I do that? And when I ask people that question, most people are shocked that I said that, you know, like you were, you know, most people are shocked because I said, I hate it when people tell me because most people can't explain to you how to be careful, you know, and so it's like, I know what people mean, but I understand that me and my little self, no matter how much I try to have control, there's some things I just don't have control of. And
you know what?
I respect it. I respect
being a
that
human, that's just something you have to accept. Everything's not going to be in control.
Everything is not going. That's right. That's right.
I was just on my way home from my daughter's dance practice that night, and I had no idea I spent nearly an hour waiting for the police that didn't show up. So all we have are pictures that we took, and then the next morning I went back because I thought he was parked in a bike lane, but I didn't see that right then. But
you took a picture of it.
Yes, I took a picture of the bike lane that he was parked in next to the parallel parking lane. And do you know the insurance company still said I was at fault for failing to control my vehicle?
Well, that's just like years ago, I had an accident, and this guy cut across 2-Lane Avenue. I'm on 2-Lane Avenue. When the insurance called me up, they tell me they had it all switched around. They said that I was cutting across, and their client was going straight down Airline Highway. And I said, well, oh no, that diagram is wrong. And I straightened them out. They never called me, and I didn't know anything about lawsuits and stuff back then. I figured they're gonna call me back, and they got it straight, and they give me a check or something other. It just fell through the cracks for the most part, I believe. And no, it didn't. No, it didn't. No, I did. I think I did win. I did win that case. And I did win that case. And you know, right? You just gotta just hang in there and
exactly. Stay in prayer.
Stay in prayer.
Yeah.
Do what you gotta do, and it's gonna work out in your favor. You know what? I got this thing now that I say all the time. I'm protected. I'm protected because I stay in prayer. God will keep you in perfect peace, all whose mind is stayed on thee. And so since I'm at peace, with myself and with my God, and I'm protected. And I've had some crazy things to happen of late. And when they happen, it's just, when it passes, I said, okay, we almost went by accident or whatever. I'll make a lasting statement about it. And I just move on, and I don't worry about it. I don't. I just,
I mean, cause what can you do? Worry yourself to death? No matter how mad you get or upset you get, you gonna make your health bad. And who is that hurting?
That's hurting you.
Is it hurting the other person?
Nope. No. I see people, I understand the scripture that talks about we wrestle not against flesh and blood. I know now what that means. When you run into these people who, say for instance, you pass them up and you go on about your business, and because you pass them up fast, they get mad because you passed them up, and then they'll try to catch up with you and cut you off or whatever because they didn't like that you passed them up, whatever. That's a spirit.
Yeah.
That's a spirit that makes them act that way, or they'll cut you off and then you blow at them, or whatever, or they're on their phone. Here's a good one because I had this happen. The cars that went ahead, they were gone. I mean, like, almost, like almost a city block down the way there when there was nobody in front of them. They're playing with their cell phone. And I just tooted the horn just to get their attention. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. The guy on the passenger side was using more foul language than the one that was driving. She screamed too. On the passenger side, rather, was using the most obscenity. But the driver was also, they're sticking the finger up and all of this. So I got around them finally and took off. They got behind me. I waited till they were about to make a turn. Road rage. It turned into road rage. Good thing I got fast. Good thing I drive fast cars. And so it was crazy because I tooted my horn because the traffic had moved on. Traffic had moved on, and they were sitting there playing with their phone. And because I went, they got mad. They got cursing at me and whatnot. That is a spirit. Yeah. That is a spirit. And you know what? Oh Lord. Ooh-wee. Girl, let me tell you what I'm about to say here. I had a woman to attack me once. She asked me for a ride. I gave the lady a ride. When we got to where we was going, she didn't want to get out of the car. She wanted to get out of my truck. And she went to going off, cursing at me, saying all kind of crazy stuff. And Spirit says, ask her, do she want something to eat? I said, do you want something to eat? She went from screaming at me, cussing at me to, yes, I want something to eat. Just like that.
So she was hangry.
Yelling.
She was hangry.
Yeah.
She was hangry. She was hungry and angry.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one. So I wanted to get her out of my vehicle. So I went she wanted to go to this expensive steakhouse over on Broad Street. I drove there. I went in and I said, I have to use the restroom. So I went up in there and I asked for the manager. She couldn't see where the door was. And I asked for the manager and I explained to the manager the situation I'm in. The manager said, I said, can I leave out of your kitchen and then you tell that person that I'm gone and I'm sure she'll just go about her business. Well, the manager, she had a spirit on her.
Oh, wow.
She said no. She said no, she couldn't let me go through their kitchen and blah, 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 policy. So that turned ugly. This girl, we get outside because I had attempted to get away from her. She went outside and I got to my truck. I put the key in the ignition, but because of my heart, I didn't want to hurt her. I could see that she had some kind of mental problem. I didn't want to hurt her, and she was to the front, right side of my vehicle.
What woman? Where did you meet this woman?
I was in Algiers heading to the ferry, and I was at a red light, and she said, Mister, can you give me a ride?
Don't you know you don't pick up strangers?
Here's the deal. She was kind of handicapped. She was walking, limping, and she asked, wait a minute. She had
Let me get my violin out.
She had seemed like a nice, calm spirit, and she just asked me for a ride, that she was tired. that she had went the wrong direction trying to get to Parker Street, and she had caught the wrong bus or whatever, and she gave me this, pulled the violin out, gave me this story.
Exactly.
So I gave her up, but when we got to, she started talking crazy after we got down the road, and I brought her exactly where I promised. And that's when the devil came out, and that thing went to acting crazy, and she put a knife in my spank brand new tires, and tires wasn't on there a whole week. And she stabbed the tire in my front passenger tire, walked off, and I jumped out of the truck, and I know I can defend myself. I went to take a picture of her, and I took a picture of her. But now I told that story to say this, and she walked off like, you ain't gonna do me nothing. But I told that story to say this: we wrestle not against flesh and blood. The next day, I was waiting on a blessing from God, something that I was really needing. Had I went off and jumped on that woman, had I hurt her, then I would end up in jail on that day. Maybe. And I wouldn't have never gotten that blessing. And I tell people now, so the purpose of telling that story was not about the woman. It wasn't about my tire. It's about if you are expecting a blessing from God, watch out, because that's how the devil steals your joy. That's how the devil steals, that's how he steals your joy. That if I could have been the very next day, I got a blessing that when I tell you was a blessing of blessings.
Wow.
You know, that when I tell you the next day, the blessing.
The next day. Not the next week. Not the next month. The next day. Literally. Monday, Tuesday.
Yes. Just like that. So the purpose of telling the story is not about the woman. Because she had a spirit in her that attacked me.
Yeah.
Touch my tire. Now, wait a minute. A brother got it hard enough, and I done bought 4 spank brand new tires for my pickup, and you put a knife in the side of it, and then I can't even put a inner tube in it to fix it. I got to get a brand new tire.
Yeah.
And the guy who sold me the tires, who I went back to, I put the spare on to get away from the scene. And I went to him, and they teased me about picking up crazy women. That was a joke for a long time. For a long time, every time they saw me, you picked up any crazy women lately? That was the brunt. I was the brunt of the joke. Did you pick up? But anyway, I tell the story like I say because it ain't about what happened to me. It with the woman. It's the lesson to be learned there is that if you are expecting a blessing from God, you got to be careful with everybody you connect with because like I say, had I in anger because I'm a man, you don't attack me. And I don't know you. I've never done nothing to you. We're
the
not
devil is busy. He don't take no days off. He takes pleasure in making our lives miserable.
Right. Today, I had a young lady. I was speeding. I passed her up. I went on. I didn't cut her off. I just so then I went to go get over in a lane again, and there was a nice wide spot there, and I'm easing over slow. She stepped on on the gas of that little Jeep she got to close that spot in. Instead of haggling with her, I just got back over. She got on side of me. She stuck a middle finger at me. I'm still trying to figure out, what did I do that girl? I passed by her. I got way up the road. I passed by a whole bunch of people. Why did it bother her that much that she had to stick her middle finger up at me when she passed?
People.
What
Some folks ain't worth the skin they in. Some people aren't worth the skin they in.
Right. So guess what? I said, I forgive. I prayed right there after I finished laughing, and I'm like, what in the world?
Yeah.
I prayed and I forgave her.
Yeah.
That's
all you can do when stuff like that happens.
Wait a minute.
You say, God bless you, I love you, and keep it moving.
So I've been waiting on a whole year for this new project to go forth, and waiting on somebody else to do something that I could have done in a week. It's taken them a whole year to do. It's not that I'm not grateful, but you know, when you have somebody else's mercy, it makes it you're not the number one. You're not the number one, and I understand that, and that you're not the number one priority, and so I had been waiting, and I had gotten a message a few weeks ago that on the 21st of June that my song was going to be released to the public. Well, then the last word that I heard was, I'll let you know when the song is released. So I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting. 1 second. Alexa, set a timer for 15 minutes. So I'm waiting, waiting. Forgot today was the 21st. This woman acting crazy with me on the road. And then I got a phone call after I got down the road. After I got down the road, I get a text message rather of a picture of my song on Spotify. My song on Spotify. I'm like, what in the world? So I forgot it's the 21st. So then I go on Spotify and there's my song. There's my song. So then
So is that a good thing or a bad thing?
That's a great thing. A great thing. Listen what I'm saying.
Okay.
I'm waiting on the blessing of the song to come to go public. And today is the day, and I get this woman acting crazy with me on the road. And so then, right after all that happened and I forgave her, then that's when I got the word.
Yep. The devil is always busy. He don't take no days off. And he knows his demise.
Oh, no. Right.
He knows he's going to hell for eternity.
Oh, yeah.
So he's trying to bring as many people with him as he can. And they just follow you line.
And so I'm like, here's the deal. If I would have gotten in a road rage with that woman out on the highway, I could be in jail right now as opposed to being on this interview with you.
Yep. And I'd be like, Frank, hello. You know, they take your phone, you go to
That's right.
I'd be calling, leaving messages on your phone frantically. Like, I know he's there. I talked to him earlier, and he was like, okay.
Yep. Exactly. So I tell that story as well, that whenever God has a great blessing for you, then the enemy is always on attack and trying to do any little thing instead of celebrating tonight, I could be in jail if I would allow that to get to me.
Yeah. As long as you know. All right, I got some more questions. Which parent, I'm thinking I know the answer to this already. Which parent was a disciplinarian in your childhood home? Mom, dad, both, or neither, as my cousin Ty said? Answers. And so I had to answer it.
Both, both, mother more than father, but both. If my daddy whipped you, you really deserved it. You did something. Mama would just beat you because she's having a bad day. I'm sorry. That's the way Mama was. Mama having a bad day, you might get it. But daddy, if my daddy whipped you, you deserved it. And I loved it. And I hope somebody gets something from this. When I say this, to you, the difference in my mother and my father's, chastising us is that my daddy would talk to you and you understood why are you getting this whipping.
Yeah.
My daddy would make sure you understood what you did and that this whipping is to teach you to never to do
Not
that
to do it again. Yeah.
That was my daddy. Mama, on the other hand, just somebody said you did something, you get a whipping, and then I'll never forget. I got a whipping one time. My two sisters had did something, and she was in there whipping them, and I walked through the house, and she grabbed me and started whipping me, and I ran back out there with my daddy, and my daddy come in there and got at her, and she said, "Why you hit that boy? He was just outside with me and whatever." She said, "Well, he did something. I don't know what it is. He did something. I'll find out about it later." And I'm like, I never understood
He's giving you your punishment, whipping ahead of time. For what you had already done.
He did something. He did something. I just don't know what it is yet, but he did something. And but my dad, if my dad punished you, if he whipped you, if he you knew ahead of time before he swung the belt.
Yeah.
You knew. And I encourage parents all over the world, especially young parents. Talk to your children. Let them know why you're punishing them. Don't just punish them. Make sure they understand, because they're going to grow up with hard feelings against you.
Yeah.
For stuff that you done forgot. You don't even remember that day. But they do, because they felt they were treated unfairly.
Yeah.
Kids, remember. I remember every Christmas. I remember who got what. I remember my toys. I remember there are things that I remember about my childhood that most people don't remember. But children remember. The people remember two things, and this is not an opinion. This is the truth. People mainly remember two things, and psychologists have proven this. Either something that hurt you, or something that made you happy. Those are the two things that solid doctors and psychologists have proven. Those are the two major thoughts that a person remembers. If it made them very happy, or if it made them sad. Everything else in between, it gets gone with the wind. But those are the two major thoughts that people remember. What made them happy or what made them sad.
Wow.
That's true. That's the truth. That's the truth.
Okay, what was your most favorite memory from childhood?
My most favorite memory was that Christmas when I got my go-kart. That's gotta be it.
How old were you?
Oh Lord, I can't remember. I'm thinking about 11, 12, something like that. I was young. And to wake up in the morning and see, I got a whole new level of appreciation for that now than I did then. Because like I was speaking a minute ago, that I learned that the snare drum that my mom and daddy, bought for me was $100. Most of the yards back then that my daddy cut was between $20 and $30.
Yeah.
That
was
he
a
was
lot
getting.
of yards.
So how many yards my daddy had to cut to buy that drum for me? See, I got a new level of respect for a little bitty thing like that now. Yeah. And when I think about it, I'm like back on my knees. Lord, thank you for my daddy. Thank you for my mama. They took bill money and bought me a snare drum, but look who I am. But look who I am now as a musician. Yeah. As a musician. Look who now it would be a sad story if they spent all that money. Like I know parents who will buy a baby grand piano and put it in their house because they want their kid to learn piano and they never learned it. I know people who have spent close to $1,000 on just buying a nice guitar with a nice amp for their kids because they want to play guitar and they buy them the best. And Christmas Day and the day after Christmas, they're wearing it out, and then after that, before a week goes by, they don't touch it anymore.
Yeah, before they're back in school.
Before they're back in school, they're not touching it anymore, and they didn't learn how to play. Parents who spent money because the kids say, "Oh, I want to learn how to play saxophone," or "I want to do this, I want to do that, I want to go to school and I want to do this," and blah blah blah. And parents spend all these thousands of dollars on it, and then they don't accomplish it.
Yeah, but that's like my oldest daughter. She played. She was in the band. She played a bass saxophone. Yeah. And I didn't have to buy that because the school had it. So we rented the instrument from the school.
Right, but you still spent money.
Yeah. But we didn't own it. And it wasn't that much. It was like $20 a month. For rental. Yeah. Right. So it wasn't expensive, but so it was just, whatever. But I mean, everything a child wants costs. And these days, it's more expensive. Everything is more expensive.
It's more expensive. And the problem I have with the younger parents that they're not teaching the children a lesson. They just give them what they want. Yeah. That's where it goes sour. See, if you teach kids value and they learn value, then they'll take care of things and they'll appreciate you more. But if you teach them no value, then that's the kids that's going to grow up and say, "You never did anything for me," because they don't remember all the money that you spent on dance lessons, or they don't or going out playing soccer, or the soccer team, the football team, and the baseball team, and the uniforms that they pay for, and the dues that you had to pay to be a part of it, and driving, going to these things, and they don't understand what all that costs.
No,
because nobody's teaching them the value of it.
Yeah,
they just give it to them.
No, but
you have to teach them value. You got to teach them. Look, this is cost. This cost. I wish I had all the money back that I spent on my kids coming up.
Yeah.
Because I know it's not appreciated. I wish I had all, they're getting older now, so I think that things are changing because they got kids now. So when they have to go take their
they give you back.
Huh? Oh boy.
So they give
Lord.
you back.
Lord, I have a cousin who was a bad little rascal when he was a kid. He don't remember those days, but I remember. Oh my God. Yeah. He has a little boy now that's barely 2 years old who is giving him a run for his money. And that little boy just likes to have his way, and he cuts up. Yeah. I grabbed that boy and I hugged him and I kissed him and said, "God bless you, son." I picked up Peter. Oh Lord! When I encountered him met the little boy for the first time, and we was talking about his daddy, as Daddy used to be. He don't remember that stuff. I picked that kid up and I kissed him. I said, boy, bless you. God bless you. Because he giving his daddy what his daddy gave to us. Yeah. Oh, Lord, and he don't remember. Oh, Lord, that is so funny.
Okay, who was your best friend in elementary school?
That would be a fellow, we called him Peter, but his real name is Joseph Thomas. And we still friends today. And he will call me and check on me and see how I'm doing today. We call each other. And now I'm not good with birthdays. That is something I'm not good with. And
even with close friends?
Kids, mom and daddy. I'm just, that it just never was my thing to try to, I've written like I say, over 500 songs in my day. So my thoughts are on I got this thing that I say all the time with people who know me personally. That's levels of importance. And I know that birthdays are important to some people, but I always ask the question when I put my thoughts on something, how is it going to benefit me? How's it going to benefit me? And it doesn't all the time have to be about money. But how does it, because to put that kind of thought power into every 12 months on this date, I need to celebrate somebody is just not that important to me. Now,
well, it's not a matter of having to spend anything. It's just a matter of, I keep telling people just happy birthday. Because
No. That's what I'm saying. I'm talking about the idea of putting not about spending money, the idea about putting my thoughts on it, to hold that in my thoughts, that my birthday is January the 20th. I barely remember that half the time. It's not that important to me. It's just the day that I was born, and every time it comes back around, I'm getting older and I see another gray hair. So, so to, like, I've had lady friends to get heartless mad with me, upset because I don't remember this. So if I know you personally, and if I know your birthday, and if you somebody who's a close friend of mine, a family member, I'll put it by your phone number in the phone. So when their numbers pop up, when they call me to see how I'm doing or whatever, then I'll see their birthday. Other than that, I have to sit here to fight to remember all of my children's birthdays. But because it doesn't benefit me to remember their birthdays, but it does benefit me to write a new song and publish it. That benefits me. And like I said, it's not all the time about money, but it's like, I remember that my rent and my light bill comes around on the 1st. I remember that.
Yeah.
You don't have to remind me that my insurance is due on the 1st. You don't have to remind, because that benefits me to remember and to take care of those things. But to remember somebody's birthday or somebody's anniversary, nope.
Wow.
Nope. The anniversary date of my dates of things that I've done. Alexa, turn alarm off. Different things that I've been involved with that, like, it's been, say for instance, I went through cancer, and it was 11 years ago now. I remember it was on the 27th of June. Now, what is the day's date? The 21st, right?
21st, yeah.
I may on the 27th of June, I'm not going to necessarily wake up that morning and say, think about the thought that that's the day that I got the news about the cancer. I'm talking about it now. So the thought is in my mind now, but I'm not going to necessarily remember on that date.
Yeah.
That this is the day that I got that news. I just don't. I think
it's good to remember how far God has brought you. Because I celebrate I call it my rebirthday, December 8th, the day I had my brain stroke. That was Dawn's actual due date. She came on December 1st. So 7 days later, on her actual due date, was the day I had my brain stroke. And I celebrate that as my rebirth day every year. So
I don't remember. I don't remember. When the 27th rolls around, I don't remember. I don't never remember.
Maybe it's a guy thing.
Yeah, you know what? And most men, you're absolutely right.
Yes. Maybe men, because Alex is like that. He can't remember his own birthday. And I'm like, happy birthday. He's like, oh, my birthday is? It's like, huh?
Yep. That's right.
Get his birthday. I think that's a woman thing. Because birthdays, anniversaries, and other special things, like today, we had John's ballet class. They had their performance. And we went there, and a girl was able to come today. Well, last year, she wasn't able to attend. Just her husband came because she was having surgery for the breast cancer they found that she had. So she missed the show last year, but she was able to come today. And I was like, well, I had forgotten that. But then I was like, oh, yeah, we were standing there talking, and I was like, I think this is the best show that they've had so far. And she was like, yeah. I said, well, I don't know. I missed it. I said, oh, that's right. You was having surgery. But her husband came, and he was like, yeah, I think this year was the best year. So she was happy that she got to be there this year, because last year around this time, and they do, she wasn't able to come because she was in the hospital having surgery. Right. But her husband came. Yeah. So I think it's
yeah, I know most men. That's why I tell, like, my daughter, who's raising my grandson, and he would always make sure he remembered dates and stuff like that. And I'm like, and I told her, I said, men don't care about stuff like that. That's a woman thing. She disagreed. Yeah. Her opinion was, yes, men do, and stuff. And but I think she's learned now, as he's gotten older. I think she's learned that some things that Daddy told her concerning boys. You know, I know that a lot of women are in positions where they have to raise boys and raise the kids on their own, and this is not an opinion. This is what I've seen with my own eyes, that a lot of times they bring that on themselves because of the way they treat men. And if you don't respect a man from the beginning, if you go into a relationship and you really don't respect men, but you want a man, you're going to treat him with disrespect, because from the beginning you did. And so then when he gets a whiff of that and he gets tired of being disrespected, he's going to move on, and he'll get into another relationship where he feels respected. Point blank. And so then another one. So then we got one that's left with no kids. She's not going to say that I disrespected. She's just going to say you left me. She's not going to say.
She's going to tell the truth.
No, she's not.
Because it's going to make her look bad.
Right. She's not going to say that
no.
You know,
I ran him away.
I ran him away. I have seen more women when they get pregnant. They get mean. They get mean. They talk to you bad, and they treat you like it's the hormones. Well, guess what? The average man was not taught. Beware when she gets pregnant and she gets so far in that pregnancy that she's going to get mean, and she's going to say things that she really don't mean, and we're not taught that. We're not taught that. I guess I had older men to tell me that you know that when I ran into that brick wall, I had older men to tell me, well, son, that the woman don't mean no harm. When she get pregnant, she's gonna get mean. She gonna be crying, and you ain't done nothing. You just got off from work, and you trying to have a peace of quiet day, and she gonna want to argue and fuss with you about who left the bread untied and the bread going spiral on the can. I'm just making up something crazy. You know, who left the bread out? Who left the refrigerator door open? You know, just something. And instead of it just being a normal conversation, it will blow up into a big argument because of where she is mentally with the pregnancy. Yeah. And so young men are not taught that. See, that's something else that's not an opinion. That's the truth.
Well, maybe that's something you should start.
What's that?
Listen to 60-year-old man.
No. Okay. Now, remember I told you what was the most important thing to me?
Peace.
All right. And that's one thing you got to remember. That's one thing you got to remember. And the other thing, and you got another thing. I get people, and I had a misunderstanding with a lady just recently, because she wanted to
a lot of misunderstandings with ladies. What is it?
Yeah, because women aren't the way they used to be. They think a lot of these young women, they think they know everything, and whatever their opinion is, that's law. That's it. Here's the deal.
Okay.
I'm laser focused. I have learned one thing in my life, in my career, that if you on a path and you allow everybody to come along to see you in a different direction, you'll never get to where you're trying to get.
Yeah.
You will never ever make your destiny if you are on a path. You trying to get to somewhere. And my path is straight. I just gotta keep it's a mile long path. And if I keep straight on it, I'm gonna get to the end of that mile. And everybody and my problem is that I hate it when people come along and say, Frank, you know, you ought to do this. And you ought to work with kids. And you ought to do, you know, you good with teaching. You ought to teach kids. No, I don't want to do that. That's not on my pathway of success. That's not on my path of doing things. And if I do that, then that's going to deter me. I wouldn't be where I am now if I allowed everybody who came along to change my direction with their thoughts, because it's their opinion that I should be teaching kids. You know, because of my spirit or whatever. Oh, Frank, you have a lot of wisdom. You have to teach these young boys. And then first of all, the young boys' mamas don't respect men. They're not going to respect me because I'm what? A man. So it's a waste of my time to try to speak into a young man. And this is why, okay, I'm going to answer questions there, because it been why men don't take time with these young boys, and why men don't take them under their arm. Because if the mamas of the young boys don't respect men, and I'm a man, then anything I speak to him, she's going to disagree with, because why? She has an opinion. So then, because she has an opinion, then it's going to be too late by the time she get old enough to gain wisdom. The damage is already done. I had a young man to reach out to me for Father's Day to put tears in my eyes. His mother disagreed with what I had to say about him as a young man. And he came back and he said, thank you. You were right.
Wow.
Because of what I spoke into his life and how I tried to mentor him because like I say, that's why I keep saying I hate opinions. There's a truth to everything. And if you don't know the truth, here's the truth is, I can give a girl advice on how to live. I can give her good advice on banking. I can give her good advice on health, how to keep herself healthy. But there's some things about being a female I can't tell her about. I can't tell her that what it feels like once a month. I can't tell her that. I don't know that.
Yeah. And you're not supposed to.
Right. On top of that. Exactly. So I stay in my lane. So I stay in my lane. But and so I try to tell these young women, and they don't listen, that you can't teach a boy how to be a man, because he's going to grow up with feminine affection. And every guy that I know that's been raised by his mama, he may have turned out all right. He may not be gay, but he's going to have something about him, like me and we don't just, that's feminine. Right. Right. You're going to have something about him that you might not turn out to be gay, but you're going to have something about him that's going to be, say, for instance, like the thing you're talking about, birthdays and stuff like that. Men, we don't do that. We don't, it's just something that's just natural that we don't worry about.
That's not our lane.
That's not our lane. When you meet a man who he remembers all of them kind of details like that, what was you raised by your mama? Yeah, man, how you know? Yeah, I said.
Well, come on. I got a couple of more questions. Okay. At what age did you get into girls?
Oh, Lord. Yeah. 2. 1.
Oh, my God. 2?
Girl, look.
Frank, I thought the youngest was 3. You can remember back to 2 years old?
Baby, I was telling my sisters the other day, and my older sister, she had to say amen to it. I said, when I was a baby and I was 1.5, 2 years old, I said I was 2 years old, and Mama was trying to take me off the bottle. And my sister behind me, Mama used to put a little sugar in the bottle, in the milk, in the bottle for the baby. And so I would steal my sister's bottle because she didn't want to give me no more bottle. And I burned my hand on the hot plate, and somebody left a hot plate on the floor out in the country. They gave me a bottle. Wow. And to keep me calm. And I was happy. I wasn't worried about the plate. They gave me a bottle. I was wanting the bottle. They were trying to wean me off that bottle. And I remember them days.
Oh, wow. Okay, at what age were you allowed to start dating?
Well, here's the deal. Being allowed to date, I don't think it was a thought. I was in elementary school, and you see a girl and you call her your girlfriend, and what, and that was it, this girl is my girlfriend or whatever. A girl claims you to be her boyfriend or whatever, and somehow you didn't talk about it in front of the older folk, but you had your little secret book.
Yeah, I kept it on the down low.
Kept it on the down low. So yeah, I remember that. I was elementary.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
All my life. All my life.
All of your life. You've been a lot.
I might have been 1.
Wow.
I might have been 1. I was between 1.5 and 2 years old. Woo! Fresh out of diapers.
You what?
And
I think Pastor said 3. He was 3.
Baby, I was younger than that. I remember getting in trouble, and a little girl that was our next door neighbor, and I caught kissing that little girl, and we was about 1.5, 2 years old. I don't know where we got it from, About 2. And I got a whipping to put my lips on that girl's lips. And she was kissing me back. And I got a whipping boy for that.
How did y'all even know what to do?
You know, kids watch adults.
Yeah.
The kids watch adults, and people, my kid curses. Where he gets it from? He gets it from you.
Yeah.
Or another adult that's somebody older than them that's doing it, and they see it on TV.
Yeah. Yeah.
They see it on TV.
Okay, I know that you know that readers are leaders, right?
Readers are leaders, yes.
Yeah. So what's your favorite new read and the author?
Joe Vitale, book, I'm reading, and, it's about the secret prayer. It's called The Secret Prayer. That's one book. And, I have a neighbor who has a book, entitled Let It Go. His name is, oh Lord, I gotta go, I'm gonna have to go in here and try to pull it out of the, out of the room. Out of my library. And, because I want to give him a shout out, because this young man is, and I'm going to dig for the book right now. It's right here. And, I want to give him a shout out. I really do. Let me pull this out of here. This guy's my neighbor, and, he lives here.
What's his name?
And it's called Release It. His name is Overton Duncan. Look for his book. Overton, Duncan is his name, and it's called Release It. Now we're going to take a turn. We're going to take a turn. This book is deep. Talks about, rape, molestation, and he talks about forgiving, the person who hurt you or harmed you. And he prays first for the victim. Then he prays for the person who did the wrong in his book. And he's going from one thing to the other, with different things that have happened to people when they were younger. And it is deep. It is deep. The book is the deepest. Overton Duncan, and it's called Release It. And, so that is a book. And he's, like I say, he's my neighbor. He's right here, in the hood. And, look him up, Overton Duncan. I'll say Release It is the name of his book. And, yep. I'm sorry.
Okay. No, I was going to ask you the last question of the interview for your interview. Then I have the 2 sections that are specifically from my show.
Okay.
So you have something very special happening today, as you mentioned earlier.
Yes, the release of my song.
Would you like to share a bit more about that?
Lift my hands in the sanctuary. Lift my hands in the sanctuary. I will lift my hands in the sanctuary and praise. Praise the Lord. Yes, I wrote that song, some years ago, actually. And now, the Lord has seen fit that, song is now released to the world, and I am so happy. You can find it on all social medias. What is it? In iTunes, YouTube, Apple Music, Deezer, you name it, it's there. And I Googled myself today, and it was the funny thing that I saw.
What did it say?
Somebody, huh?
What did it say?
Huh?
What did it say?
it had so much information that popped up on me when and pictures of me and things that I was involved in and did.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, that's me.
Wow. Look at you, superstar.
I'm like, I Google, and wait a minute, but the funny thing is, I'm somewhere recently and there was a TV on and they were interviewing these two women and they said, which one of you are more likely to Google yourself? And I think one of them, and they were both right. Whoever said that one would do their best friends or whatever. I don't know what their relationship was. And so, and so I'm like, Google yourself. And I'm like, I Google myself every once in a while, but it's basically to see how I'm doing, on the internet.
Yeah.
That's why I do it. And so, sure enough, I Googled myself today and I had to chuckle when I did it because I thought about the conversation and them asking the two young ladies, who were close, friends or whatever they were, which one of you are more likely to Google yourself and two actors, stars or whatever they were. And so now here I am Googling myself. And so I thought it was funny.
Wow. So what is the name of the, is it a single or is it an album?
It's a single. It's called In the Sanctuary.
Okay.
And it will be released on radio as of July, the 1st. As of July 1st, it will be on radio, worldwide, not just here. This is going to be a global release.
Wow.
It's, I'm now a part of Virgin Records and, Universal Records as well. And also, there's another, company. I'm struggling here to, go find their information because I want to give them a shout out because they are a big part of this. And so, here it is.
You big time, Frank.
Yes.
At our little bitty church. You a hidden gem.
Yes. But I love it. Okay. It's RMC, Records, production, and RMC, it's called Revival. Wait a minute. Oh Lord. I want to open that up and okay, here it is. It's called Revival Music Company, RMC.
Okay.
And so these are the three, folks who are,
Virgin,
involved with this.
Universal, and RMC.
Yes. Those are the three record companies that's all involved in this production. I sang in Virginia last year at, it was at the GIN, the Gospel Industry Network Conference. And I didn't want to sing. The craziest thing is, wait a minute. And a friend of mine brought it to my attention, and told me you didn't want to go because I had other things going. I was kind of tired. I didn't want to go, but I went. I wanted to be a part. So you really didn't want to go, and you didn't want to perform when I was asked, was I going to sing? And I told him, I said, I don't do those competition things where you sing and people judge you. I don't do those. And so there was an old lady standing there and she said, now I don't know what her name is. I wish you would make me know who she is now. If I ever see her again. She said, don't look at it like that. Look at it like if that you showing your God-given talent, that you're showing what God gave you. And so I said, you know what?
Exactly.
I said, you know what? So wait a minute. So that day they went through all of the talent, a whole day, a whole hour of listening to different, artists. And so it was called Shoot Your Best Shot. I need to say that. And so, and if you shot your best shot, then there's record deals and whatever that would come your way.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the second day came and, I went up to the front because I knew they were about to end it. And I asked the lady, I said, "You hadn't called my name yet. I know you're about to end." She said, "Oh no, you're next. Just stand right there."
Mm-hmm.
So they called me up, said, "Next we have Frank Thompson."
Mm-hmm.
So I got up, they started playing my track, the music for my track that I did, called
Mm-hmm.
"Can You Use Me Now?" I think I sing that at the church.
Mm-hmm.
So then, my track started messing up. So when the track started messing up, they stopped me.
Mm-hmm.
So there was a piano on the side. And as you know, I knew my way around the piano a little bit.
Yep.
So just that quick, I shift gears and I almost got
Mm-hmm.
on the piano and I played to them what they heard starting up on that recording.
Mm-hmm.
And I started singing. And then when I started singing, I impressed them so well that this is where we are now.
Wow. Well, congratulations, my friend. I am so proud of you. I'm so proud that, me, met somebody, I met a big fish in the pond.
Oh, bless you, bless you.
And it's an honor to know you. You were such a sweet guy.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
So, okay, here's the questions that I ask all of my guests.
Okay.
Your realities from the past where you knew God had involved the realities from your past where you just knew God had been involved because your situation suddenly changed. 1, something from the past 3 years of your life. The past 3 years.
Past 3 years of my life?
Yeah.
This very thing that we're talking about with the music, because while getting ready to go the night before to go to Virginia, I was in the shower. And I pray a lot of times when I'm in the shower as I'm just thanking God. And just something I find myself doing. It's a quiet, peaceful moment. I love the sound of the water, what have you. I just find myself meditating and I'll pray while I'm in the shower.
Yeah.
And I said,
isn't it something about water? Because I think I do the same thing.
I love water. So then I said, well, Lord, I'm an old man now. I said, and I've been in this game a long time. This is a young man's game now. So, I'm not going to worry about, I said, I'm going to record, I like to record 100 songs. I'm just going to record them, put them on the market. Somebody will find them. And I'm not worried about all of these hopes and dreams anymore. Stardom, whatever, that I'm not worried about it, that I'm going to, I'm not going to worry about all of this anymore, that I'm going to, I give up, Lord. And that was my prayer.
Yeah.
Then go up to Virginia. I'm at the counter checking and getting my badge. And somebody asked me, "Are you going to sing, Mr. Frank?" No, I don't do these competition type things. Just like I said a minute ago. Then the lady on the end says, don't look at it like that.
She's right.
And then, next thing I know, my track messes up, like I said.
Yeah.
Then now I got those people surrounding me, taking pictures of me. Oh, I got to mention one person, a friend of mine, a new friend of mine. Her name is Kim Aguru. And she knows of me. She don't know me at the moment.
Okay.
She gets on the phone, and a guy who is a part of the gym, he's actually one of the coordinators of the president, or what I think he is.
Mm-hmm.
She calls him and she says, you need to get your boy. Because they didn't surround him, talking about me. So she said, you need to get your boy, because he didn't impress these people, and now they didn't surround him and whatnot, and they're talking to him and whatnot, and I know they're gonna be trying to talk to him and whatnot. You need to get. She didn't know that I'm a businessman.
She was trying to protect you.
She's trying to protect me. So she walked up to me and she says, I'm in the middle of all these people taking pictures with me, shaking my hand. I'm the star for the moment. People shaking my hands. People want to meet me. People want my phone number. People, I'm exchanging my phone number with record companies, with radio personalities, with producers. I'm exchanging my number, and she walked up to me and she says, "You need to call Milton." And I said, "Okay." And I turn around, I'm shaking somebody's hand, and they're thanking me and wanting my number and all of this stuff, my contact information. She says, "No, you need to call Milton now." I'm like, when the hell this woman thinks she is talking to me like that? You know, we're the best of friends now. And
wow.
She was.
What's his last name? What's Milton's last name?
Wallace. Milton Wallace. Milton is a man right now. He was a principal, and he retired from being a principal at a I think a junior high school or high school, and he got involved with the award system, like the Stella Awards or the Dove Awards, what have you, and Grammys, and he saw how the little guy was being stepped on and pushed aside.
Yeah.
And he wanted to find some fairness, and about change. Yeah. And he out of his heart, I'm a part of this group that he has, the Gospel Industry Network, and they're in Texas. And what he does, and a fellow by the name of Anthony Young, who's from here, he does promotions too. He introduced me to Milton, and right away we became like brothers. And I think he's older than me. He might be old enough to be my daddy, and because he's older than me. And he has been such a blessing to so many artists who wouldn't have gotten a chance to be heard. He puts on these programs, these concerts and these things all over, and we travel. And I love the camaraderie. We're getting to know each other, and we're getting to and every time we go together and we support one another, and it is so wonderful. And that is all of that what I'm saying is, I know God was involved, because I've been playing music all my life, running around New Orleans, traveling with the quartet groups, and then all of a sudden when I pray and say, God, I give up. This is a young man's game. And then recently, I had a conversation with someone, and I said, you know what? I realized that all my favorites, Yolanda Adams, Fred Hammond, Marvin Sapp, Johnny McClurkin, the Hawk sisters, all of these people are my age. Yeah. Are older. Shirley Caesar, older. Yeah. All of these people. And I'm saying, I give up. Yeah, this is a young man's game. And then now, look what I've achieved through the blessings of God. And it's nothing of me. It's a miracle. It was like,
won't he do it?
All of a sudden.
Yes.
All of a sudden.
It's done.
Like the kids say, whoop, there it is.
Yep. Whoop,
there it is. There it is. Now, what is your Then you got another question?
Okay.
What's your next question?
Yeah. Well, I have 4 total. But, okay. What was a reality from the past that you knew God had been involved because your situation suddenly changed? A memory from something when you were a young adult or in your teen years?
Oh, Lord, that's too much. That's too much. When I got cancer, when I was diagnosed with cancer,
you were a teen?
No, that was 11 years ago. Now when I was a kid, there's a couple of different things that has happened when I was a teenager, and just God was there and just delivered me. But I was trying to make that as short as possible because we've been on the phone a while. But when 11 years ago, I made jokes about I was going to find me a 25-year-old marrier and party till I die. And I wasn't going to do surgery. I wasn't going to do anything. And a friend of mine, had a young lady, her name was Glenn, from his church to call me and talk to me and reason with me. And I took her advice. That was 11 years ago now. And I went from 4th stage cancer to no cancer. And from what I hear, that not many people touch 4th stage and live to see about it, to talk about it later. So I believe that. So I believe with all of my heart and soul that God was in that.
Yeah.
And that.
Most definitely. Okay. And another one, when you were a child, toddler, or infant, something that your parents possibly told you.
Well, the hot plate thing, burning my hands. Wait a minute, I had my older sister recently. She called me up, she asked me, did I have fingerprints? I said, yes, I have fingerprints. Everybody has fingerprints. She said, no, because you burned your hands when you was a baby on that hot plate and you was, like 1.5. I was crawling, I was starting to walk with crawling. Yeah. And she said, you burn your hands, and she thought that I burned my fingerprints off, but no, that wasn't the case. And so, but there is several, times when, as a kid, where I was in a dangerous spot, a bad place, something is too many to mention. Yeah. But each time, God saw me out of it.
Yeah. Won't he do it?
Won't he do it? Now, what's your next one?
And, okay, in closing, so what does being refined by the fire mean to you? And would you say that you've been refined by the fire?
Oh, definitely. That's why my mindset is what it is. My mindset at my age is way different from when I was a 20-year-old man. Not to say that I was dumb as dirt. But I've learned some things. Say, for instance, like when I talk about that, what happens with the politicians and the whatever, I'm wise enough to know that if I'm looking for a handout, then they benefit me.
Yeah.
But if I depend on God, they don't benefit me.
Yeah.
If I'm looking for what I can get free from my government, then they benefit me. Then they benefit you. But to know that all of my help comes from God, to know that everything that I want, everything that I am today, everything that I have is because of God, because of my faith in God. That's refined. My health. I used to be 310 pounds. Now I'm 208 pounds, I think, the other day. So, so all of that, the way I think, the way I do things now is because of my faith and belief in God.
Yeah. Thank you, sir.
Yes.
This has been a very interesting interview.
Yes, It has. And I've enjoyed every moment of it. And I pray that someone who hears it, I pray that they are helped and that they are blessed. They're blessed by it.
Yes, that's always my prayer. If whoever hears it, I pray that it's not only educational, but entertainment as well, because both of them put together is knowledge. And, yeah, so let me close
knowledge is power. Knowledge is power. And like I speak about, like my feelings about, opinions and whatnot. I hope somebody would, the thing I've been paying attention, I'm into thought. There's another set of books I've been reading. You asked about books. And I've been reading about the power of thought. Now I can't remember the author and different things about thought. And one thing I've learned is that what you believe has to serve you.
Yeah.
It has to benefit you. And if what you believe is not benefiting you, and here's the problem, I find that most people don't even think about it. It's just what I believe. That's what I think. That's what I believe. And then you keep making the same mistakes. You keep doing the same thing over and over and over and over again. But this is what you believe, but it's not benefiting you.
Yeah.
What you believe has to make your life better. If what you thinking, if what you believe in is not, if you still arguing and fussing and fighting over stupid stuff, and you thinking, well, God put us together and whatnot, and if you miserable, you need to think something else. And I don't, I don't try to encourage people one way or the other. But if your bank account is staying empty and you keep partying, and then you need to stop. You need to stop and think about it. If what you believe, if you believe you can go party all night and go to work and maintain the job, if that's what you believe, good luck. But I'm here to tell you that I know from experience that you're going to run into that's not going to last long. First of all, that's safety issues. If you've been partying, if your job don't have nothing dangerous on it that you got to worry about it, if the most dangerous thing you can worry about on your job is a paper cut, then go ahead. But if you want to make money and you want to be successful, then you have to find somebody who's successful. Look at their life. Because they'll tell you that partying and drinking and success don't go together. Now, you'll see people who are successful partying, but guess what? They've already made it.
Yep.
So that's what people don't understand. So you see these guys running, they're throwing the fake money in the air and whatnot. They already made it. You don't know what they went through to make it.
To get there.
You see me
riding sacrifice and effort went into that.
You see me riding my BMW 740i. You don't know what sacrifices I made.
Yeah.
But people, they see, ooh, I like their car. Let me ride that. Let me borrow your car. No way in the world. The devil is a lie.
You say the devil is a lie.
The devil is a lie. So what you believe, if you believe it, whatever it is, you have a right, just like an opinion, you have a right to believe whatever you want, but make sure that your belief is benefiting you. And that's my final words, other than go out and buy my song. Wait a minute. Don't go out and buy my song now. It's going to be on the internet, hopefully before this night is over with. Go to my website, www.frankthompson, THOMPSON, Thompson, Frank Thompson Jr. FrankThompsonmusic.com is the website. FrankThompsonmusic.com, and download my music from my website. Now, not just me, any artist that is your favorite artist, download their music from their website. You benefit them by doing that better, because we get the total proceeds if you get it from our website. But if you go to iTunes Spotify and all this. They're good platforms. They're gonna take a percentage of our money. If you really want to bless an artist that you know, no matter who they are, and I'm speaking up for all artists, not just for Frank Thompson, go to their website. Go to my website. Go to their website and download the songs that you want, and you benefit the artist directly as opposed to your favorite download platform, because they are getting rich off of our music.
Yep.
And people don't think about this. Here's another, that's another thing when it comes down to opinions and whatever. Well, I only download from this site or that site. But if you really want to really help an artist, if you really like that artist, download from their website. You're going to benefit them better. Yeah, you're going to benefit them better.
Thank you for that nugget.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. Anytime I can. Precious Father, I thank you for this moment, for this very minute, this very second, right now. I thank you for this conversation. Dear Lord, I pray that somebody is blessed through the words that I was saying, that has been said, the questions that was asked, dear Lord, and the timing of everything that has gone forth, the stories. Dear Lord, everything. I pray that my life story as a child being raised by great parents, both different in one way or the other, I pray that it's a blessing and someone will learn how to appreciate the parents that they had. It might even be someone that adopted them. They may not be the most perfect person in the world, but if you were fed and if you were clothed and if you got the basic needs that they needed, I would pray that someone would go back and say thank you to them if they're still alive, and if not, have gratitude in your heart for them if they're deceased. I pray blessings on everyone that hears our voice and hears this podcast. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Thank you so much, Frank.
Yes, I am
May you stay blessed,
excited.
And I wish you well on the promotion of your album. And I thank you for being a willing vessel and coming on my little podcast.
Thank you for having me. And you are the first interview for after this recording. Now, I've did several other videos. I've lost count of how many interviews I've done. But since now this new release, which was today, and then today you get credit for the first interview for this recording. Yeah. And although we talked about a whole bunch of other things, you get the credit for getting the first interview for this. And I got those people who are lined up.
I'm number one.
Yeah.
I'm number
You're
one.
number one. You are number one. You are definitely number one. And I talked to somebody earlier.
It won't be posted until next Wednesday.
That's okay. It's okay. You get the first. Okay. And I'm saying it. So it's on record. I'm saying it that you get, because I talked to someone earlier and said, okay, look, we gotta get this interview done on your song. I said, well, I have an interview set up today, a young lady from my church, and it's like, what? She gets the first interview? I said, well, yeah, she gets the first interview is already set up for her to do the interview, and it just so happened that the song is released and stuff. And so they got people in their feelings. So I'm just letting you know they got people in their feelings because you got the first interview.
I got the first.
Tell them don't be hating.
Don't be hating.
Don't be
Celebrate. Yeah.
Celebrate. That's it.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, it's been a blessing. I look forward to seeing you at church on Sunday. And you take care. God bless, and thank you for this opportunity.
You're welcome. Thank you for being a willing vessel.
Yes.
And sharing your moment and your life story with me.
Yeah.
Yep. So, thank you. And you have a good night, sir.
And thank you. Thank you.
All right.